This is Chapter 2, Section 3. What we've done up to this point is we set up our local environment with XAMPP, and we created a database, and we installed WordPress. So now what I want to do is just give a brief tour around the admin panel and maybe make some configurations. So this is the landing page when you log in. It's called the dashboard, and it has quick links to do common tasks. Write your first blog post, add an about page, view your site. Then we have other actions like manage widgets and menus, configure comments, learn more, which may help you if you want to look up some documentation in addition to this series. And it also gives you some statistics. It tells you how many posts, pages, categories, tags, and then discussion will show you what you have for comments. You have one comment if it's approved, how many pending comments, and spam comments. It's very important to have some kind of spam control, because WordPress is one of them, the platforms that has the most spam, just because of the whole commenting system. So we'll be setting up spam control later on. Let's see, quick press. You can actually create a really quick post here. You can add a title in the body and add some images or video. And down here we have recent comments, so we'll have the most recent comments here. Incoming links is just links from comments. We have some plugin information here, the most popular plugins, the newest plugins, and then we have some WordPress news, some information from the WordPress blog. Here we have drafts. All your posts can be in either a draft state or a published state. So this will show you the ones that are currently in the draft state. So if we click on updates up in the left, this will tell you the version of WordPress that's installed, and it'll tell you the latest version available. And you should always stay on top of updates. Excuse me, my server just popped on, which is very loud, so let me shut that off real quick. So, like I said, updates are really important. It's a lot easier to do an update if it's 1 or 2 versions up, as opposed to going from, say, version 2 to 4. 3 to 4 would be much easier, just because the coding is very similar. Some major updates will change a lot, so just always stay on top of your updates, and this makes it very easy. So posts is where you'll spend the majority of your time when you're logged in to the admin panel. It shows us all the posts and the date that the post was created, the categories, tags, the author of the post, and then the title. And if we click on the title, it brings us to the edit page, which is the same as if you were to create a new post. It has the same fields and all that. And we're going to go over posts in the next chapter, and we're going to create some posts. So if we want to add a new post, we have a quick link over here, which is, like I said, it's identical to the edit page. It's just blank. Categories. So here's where we'll create our categories, and all categories can have a slug, and a slug is just a URL friendly keyword. So if we create a design category, we want to put design here so that it'll be mywebdev/design. And you can also have subcategories. You can choose a parent for your categories. You can add a description. Alright, so tags. Similar to categories, you can add a slug, so you can actually search posts or browse posts by the particular tag. So media, you can integrate images, obviously, video, sound files. any media you have on your site will show up here, and you can actually add media too by clicking Add New. You can also do this from within a post or a page. So you just want to select your files, your images. You can also, we have a really nice Ajax feature. You can actually just drag a file from your desktop right into this box, and it'll upload. And your maximum upload size, it differs depending on your web host or your server. The most common is 2 megabytes, which is okay for images. For video, you'd probably want to raise this, and I'll actually show you how to do that in another video. If you're using a live host, then you may need to contact them if you want to increase this limit. Okay, pages. Pages are very similar to posts. You can see they're laid out the same way. If we click on the sample page, it takes us to a very similar page as if it was a post, but just a couple, there's more options on a post. So pages, we can also click Add New, which will let us add a new page. You can have different templates. You can, like, for instance, this has a front page template and then a full width page template with no sidebar. So all templates can come with different views, and you can select the view over here for each page. You can also have a parent. You can have sub pages that are parents of other pages. You can change the order of the page. Let's see, comments. So this is where you'll manage all your comments. They have a sample one here. It'll say the date of the comment, the date and the time, the author. If you allow comments from guests that aren't logged in, then they can add their own name and their own website as well. But you can make it so that users have to be logged in to comment, which is works really well for spam. But then again, some people don't want to go ahead and create an account just to leave a comment, so you might have very few comments. And from here you can select the comment or the comments. You can select more than one and do these bulk actions. You can approve them all at once, unapprove, mark as spam, or move them to the trash. You can do all that from here, and it'll show you your pending comments or in your approved comments, and then the comments you marked as spam, which you can delete and then empty the trash. So very easy to moderate this stuff, to moderate these comments. Alright, so those are the basic aspects of the admin area. From here down is a little bit more advanced. It has to do with configurations and plugins and all that kind of stuff. If we click on Appearance, it takes us to the Themes page, which shows us the default theme that we're using, which is this, the 2012, and then it'll also show you other themes that you have installed on your site. And we'll be going over themes in depth in a future chapter. We'll be actually installing themes and changing them and actually editing them, and we might even create a simple theme. If you want to choose a different theme to be active, you just have to go to click Activate under the theme. You can install themes through the admin area, which is a really nice feature. You can search, let's just say technology, and that'll bring up some these aren't very nice, but you have a better chance of finding a good theme if you go to either WordPress.org or some third-party theme creator, distributor. So different themes have different options, and you can click on this Customize here, and this will show you all your options, the site title, tagline, colors, background images. This is a very basic theme, so there's not too many options to customize, but some have really in-depth customization. The widgets, These are widgets that come with the theme. These are all default. We'll be going into widgets next. Header. This theme allows you to select a new header for your web page, as well as a background. So widgets are basically small blocks of content. If we go to the front end of our website, I like to click on I usually right click and then select in a new tab. I don't know why. That's one thing that has bothered me about WordPress, is why when you click visit site, it just goes and it stays in the same window. It should open in a new window so you can manage both. Something very little, but just something that's aggravated me. So if we go to the front end of the website, these are all widgets on the side here. We have a search widget, a recent post widget, and this will automatically update as you add posts. Recent comments, archives. We went over what archives were in chapter 1. Categories, and then we get some meta info here. And if we go to widgets, every theme has certain blocks designated for widgets. This theme has a main sidebar, and then it has a first front page widget area and a second front page widget area. So you can see the sidebar, it's all the widgets I just showed you on the front end are right here, the search, and you can add a title if you want. Say if you wanted to search above it, you could add titles to your widgets. We have the recent posts, and different widgets have different options. For instance, recent posts, you can choose how many posts you want to show. The default here is 5. You can choose if you want to display the date or not. Recent comments, again, you can choose the amount of comments you want to show. Archives, categories, metadata. So that's it for widgets. I don't want to get too much into each thing here. This is just kind of an overview, because we'll be doing this later. Menus, you can add a menu, and you can add either custom links, or you can use pages that you created, or you can just choose a category and it'll display all the posts in that category. Header, again, this is same thing as if we went through the theme manager. You can choose a custom header, custom background. You can choose an editor. This is just pretty much, you can mess with the PHP files, stuff like that. We're not going to get into that now. We might look at it a little bit later, but this is more advanced stuff. Plugins are third-party extensions that allow you to extend the functionality of your site. There's a ton of plugins, which we'll go over. We'll take a look at WordPress.org and see what's available for us. But this is where you would manage your plugins. Users, this is where you can see a list of all the users registered on your site. If you click on the user name, you can edit their profile info, their contact, website, display name. You can choose if you want to display their username or their full name. Little bio. Now there are plugins that allow you to create extensive profiles. This is just the basic stock profile. So tools, we have right now all we have for tools is import and export, so we can import data to our template or to our site if we wanted to, or export it. We'll look at tools a little bit later. And then we have the main settings. General, just general settings, the title, tagline. You can choose if you want anyone to register at your site. The default user role, which is a subscriber. So if someone registered in the front end, they'd be a subscriber. You don't want someone to register and have them be an administrator, because an administrator has full access to the site. Time zone, date format, stuff like that. Then we have these subheadings under settings. Writing, which has to do with output of your site, whereas reading would have to do with input. So for writing, we have formatting, settings, the default post category, which is uncategorized. You could change that if you want. Post format. Let's see. This is a cool option. You can actually post via email, which means you can send an email to a certain address, and it'll automatically post as a blog post. So we might get into that later. If we click on reading, we can choose what we want the front page to display. We can have it display latest posts like it is right now, or we can have a static page like a home page with just static content. So like I said earlier in the series, WordPress is a full-on CMS, so it doesn't have to just be a blog. Blog pages to show how many on the front page, or on the blog pages. We get 10 posts. Feeds. For each article in a feed, show full text or summary. So that has to do with feeds, which we went over in chapter 1. Search engine visibility. Then we have all these comment settings. Users must be registered and logged in to comment. That's really good for spam, but then again, you might not get too many comments. So just different options here. If you want to be emailed when someone makes a comment, by default the comment is held for moderation, so that means it doesn't auto-publish. You have to actually accept it first. So then we have media settings, thumbnail sizes. You have different sizes you can choose when you upload an image, if you want it to display as a thumbnail or a medium size or a large size. Permalinks. This is the structure of your links, and I don't like the default structure. What it is, it'll be your website / and then we have this query, this P for page, and then the ID of the page. What we want is the post name. This is a much cleaner look, as it's your website / than the post name. So no queries or numbers or dates or anything like that. So we're going to just choose post name. You can also define a custom structure if needed. So I'm going to save that. Alright, so now if we go and we click on sample page, it just says sample page. Same thing with posts. Click on the Hello World post, it doesn't have that P and then a number, it just says Hello World. So much better for the search engines. So that's pretty much a very brief overview of all the functions in the admin area. So in the next chapter we'll start to create posts and develop this site.